Hello, and welcome back. Man, my neck and shoulder are killing me today. Up today, we're doing the tank role quests. So let's get to it. Getting this has taken me over a week. Oh, hello. Judging by your attire, you must be the traveler from across the seas. Then I suppose Brooke Evu has enlisted you to our aid. That you were guided here safely must be the work of the brave Narwhal, who remains watchful even in this dire time. We are ever grateful for its vigilance. My name is Lozinica Nkoi, and I hail from the northern reaches of Dawntrail, where even our breath freezes when caught in the chilling winds. Our people fear the Verdil of the Narwhal, whose essence rests in the cradle of the sleepless. Our most sacred treasure, though fathomless depths, it swam without rest, protecting its home from any who would do it harm. Legends tell that the narwhal could place the burden of its fatigue upon another, and thus was able to maintain its vigil night and day. So too can any who possess the cradle lull a person, willing or no, into a deep slumber, all while avoiding the need for sleep themselves. Needless to say, such power could cause untold harm in the wrong hands. Thus was the greatest warrior of our village, Tentawa, tasked with crossing the ocean and returning that which is most sacred to us. I have joined him, but I fear I only be a burden. So I remain here, that I might find someone to send to his aid. Tentawa has ever rushed bravely and blindly into the thick of things, leaving me behind to watch and worry. But if there's anything I could do to help him, even a little, then I must. Brooke Evu has done well to send you to me. I can tell you are just the man to temper his more reckless tendencies and keep him safe during his quest. As luck would have it, a letter from Tentawa arrived shortly before you did. It seems he's discovered that the thief made their way to a place called Ishgard. Well, I don't doubt his prowess. Even Tentawa would be rendered helpless before the narwhal's lullaby. Please, could you follow him to Ishgard and find him before he does anything rash? Considering I currently live in Ishgard, this top one is very apt. Thank you, Zemin. I knew the narwhal would guide a brave protector to our side. Tatwai sails to an unfamiliar place, but despite his hasty nature, he doubtlessly spent time gathering information about his new surroundings before planning his next step. If Ishgard has a place like this one where people gather to drink and talk, he might go there first. Ask for a swordsman with blue hair and attire like mine, and I'm sure it won't be long until you find him. Can't you see by my eyes that narwhal has no effect upon me? I haven't slept in weeks. Oh, so I can grind Dark Knight to level 100. No, I refuse to use the leveling queue. Oh, through trust and duty, duty support. Why? I don't know how to tank. At least I don't know how to tank right, I should say. I can tank, but it's up to other people's interpretation of how well I do it. If it isn't Sedman, what it'll be? A lad from the western continent. Well, I can't be going around gossiping about the comings and goings of my customers, now can I? That's a quick way to empty a tavern. Well, I suppose since you're you, I can make an exception just this once. A lad much like the one you described walked through my door not long ago, was asking anyone whose ear he could bend about some stolen narwhal or some such he was after. Usually you buy someone a drink before interrogating them, but not him. Nobody knew what he was going on about, but he was determined to ask where else in Ishgard people might gather to flap their lips. So I told him to head to the Jeweled Kazaa. If you leave now, I reckon he'll still be there. You'll know him when you see him, trust me. Yeah, if you're ever looking for me, I'm probably here most of the time. I'm just there trying to level up classes. Bunch of useless. By the narwhal's horn, you think banners keep people warm for how desperately these people cling to them? And here I'm trying to rid their city of a thief. Yes, it seems you know me, but I don't know if I've ever seen you before. I'd remember. Lazaki sent you. Even across oceans, she can sense when I'm in trouble. Well, I won't deny a helping hand, especially one with her blessing. I'm having no luck gathering information from these people. Seems there are unwritten rules regarding favors that no one bothered to tell me. I know the thieves traveled here, but that's where the trail runs cold. I thought it would only be a matter of time until they used the cradle to commit some misdeed or other. But it seems nothing is amiss within or without Ishgard's walls. I have only a description to go on, although it avails me nothing so far. A woman of a race known in this land is Elysian. She has striking red hair and eyes the color of rust. A scar dominates her forehead, and a mole rests upon her lips. She came to my village, posing as a scholar with an interest in the cradle. Although she gave us a name, I know now it was a lie. just like everything else that spewed from her mouth. The bounty of meat, vegetables, and fruits she offered was worth its weight in gold to us. After the snap cold we suffered last year, we couldn't afford to turn her away. But looking back, I realized how brazen her deception was. Although she wore the robes of a scholar, she moved with the poise of a predator. I marked her as a fearsome warrior the moment I laid eyes upon her. Of course, she wouldn't have been able to travel so far north on her own if she was unseasoned, so I thought nothing of it at the time. It was my first misstep of many. That's all I know. It's not much, but if you've seen even the smallest scrap of a clue in there, I'll be damn sight better than what I currently have. Few scholars study in Ishgard without passing through petroleum. A skilled swordsman would be known among the knights. If she even feels an ounce of guilt, we would seek penance at Saint Raymond's Cathedral. I see your point, but her guise as a scholar was only meant to win her trust. I doubt she's a woman of learning. Knights, was it? I suppose that's what you call those deadly-looking fellows clad in steel. Yes, you may be onto something there. But where would we find one willing to speak? At the barracks near the tavern? I know the way. I'll meet you there. Why, Master Magic, what brings you to the congregation? This passage of the Unbound is not a name I've heard before, but if one of their numbers has brought an artifact of great such power to Ishgar, we would be ill-advised to suffer the presence. We shall act on this information at once. If there is aught we could threaten the beast, then it's our duty to root it out. Consider the knights of the congregation at your disposal. Thank you for hearing us out. Thoroughly. Now, does anyone, anything about the description which shared ring a bell? An Elysian woman with red hairs and eyes color of rust. Wait, you said she bore a scar on her forehead, yes, and a mole? No, it cannot be. You know who she is? Well, such information is usually privy only to those within our order. Pray understand my hesitation. Why weren't you listening to anything we told you? She's too dangerous to be left alone. This isn't the time for secrecy. I know I'm a stranger in your city, but I can't stand by while innocent lives might be at risk. I suppose in this case protocol can be set aside for the sake of Ishgard. You have overcome countless trials after all, and there are none better qualified to judge when a threat is credible. And you're also a certified knight. Don't think I forgot about that. I am a knight, motherfucker. Master, pray accept my apologies. Although you may not be Ishgardian, you decide to help in people's safe. It's plain to see. You shall place our trust in you, as Master Magic has. I'm glad we could see eye to eye. Now then, what do you know of this thief? Your descriptions call back some old memories. Memories of a knight named Leophony. Merely recalling her story makes me ill at ease, for the mark she left upon our honorable order was black as pitch. None knew of her whereabouts since she was expelled from the congregation. I had thought living with the shame of her deeds would be punishment enough, but if she now consorts with villains that threaten the very foundation of order, then 'twas clear we can suffer her freedom no longer. I shall inform my superiors of this development, suggest that the congregation does all in its power to track down Leophon and place her in custody. If we learn aught of value, I promise to share it with you at once. Really? That's more than we could have asked. I suppose we ought to consider what to do in the meantime. Care to join me over there, Zedman? I just realized I have a jewel in the back of my head. So we have a name, Leophon, former knight of Ishgard. That means she knows how to hide herself in the city well. Grasping about at straws won't get us anywhere. My own unfamiliarity does little to help our chances. We may have no choice but to wait until the knights discover a lead. Nevertheless, I intend to spend every waking moment learning more about the city and its working. As for you, I only ask that you be ready to move at a moment's notice. Until then, be well. Ah, there you are, Zedman. I've been walking Ishgard's streets whenever I've been able, and I've taken to searching for any sleeping people. You see, the land I'm from isn't much warmer than this, and the people know not to tempt fate by dozing off in open air. Even those blind with drink manage to find their way home somehow. I figured the only force powerful enough to overcome that innate for self-preservation would be the cradle. So if we find a sleeper exposed to the elements, we may very well discover Leophon nearby. I can't imagine she brought it all this way just to remain idle. It's a tedious prospect, but we need to scour every back alley and shadowed walkway before anyone catches it. Something much worse than a cold. This squeaky! Master Magic, Master Tonwa, I bring good tidings. The Temple Knight wasted no time in distributing handbills across Ishgard containing Leophon's description. The efforts have already borne fruit. We have recently received a report of someone matching her features being sighted. Oh really, where? Since she was sighted near Dragonhead by a patrolling sentry. He described a woman with red hair and a distinct scar on her forehead. The outpost can be reached by passing through the Gates of Judgment and heading east. Once there, speak with Sir Roganix for the full report. I know she showed herself. Let's hurry, Zedman. Let me just get to the Ethernet shard. was informed you were on your way. This is concerning the report by one of our sentries, yes? We sighted a woman matching the description in the handbill set by the conjugation. She was heading south along the footpath, but that is all we know. Yes, this is Inugnats. What? Hold fast. I shall send aid at once. What happened? A shipment of supplies was waylaid by monstrous beast. The contingent of temple knights would have been protecting it, but something is amiss. They need our help. Would be in your debts. The shipment was attacked on the road west of the observatorium. I shall muster more knights, please. Go find my men before any lives are lost. I still question why there are two tanks. Is it very wise to have tanks? Oh, this should be closer, right? I'll search the other side of the river, Edmund. But you search farther down the road and keep your weapon at the ready. Oh, he's still alive. The dog died. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. I think that's right out on that. Yeah. Right out. That's what's on that. Well, no, what I haven't seen this does yet. I summon my self-esteem. So strange that you don't have a head. Put the chocobos to sleep. You saved us, we were almost... Oh, you want to be feasting today? Not a moment too soon. The wide-eyed watches over eternal, and eternal is the sleep it bestows. No, they're not. Just look, they're asleep is all. Good, good. The trusty chocobos suddenly became unsure on their feet, and the wagon toppled onto the side of the road. There was nothing for it but to fix the damage on this one. I kind of figured there was a sleep when I went over to one of them and I saw them breathing. Now they got bubbles coming off of them. Yeah. The Temple Knights were to secure the area, but before I knew it, each and every one of them had fallen asleep where they were standing. Then the beasts attacked. It was just me before those snarling things. Time to wake up. Sleep here any longer and the cold will have you. He gave an atomic nudgy, wedgie, and then gave him a nug. What happened? We fell asleep, but we were patrolling. He must be mistaken. A temple knight would never shirk his duty so. Are you calling me a liar? I saw you fall over on your arse with my own eyes. If not for Sir Equinox's quick response and the bravery of these warriors, you all would be food for the vultures by now. The congregation will hear of this delegation of duty, you can be sure. Now hold on just a moment. They aren't the ones to blame. A sacred relic of my people was stolen and... now isn't the time. Sorry. Forget what I said anything. Whatever dizziness overtook the chocobo seems to have passed, so I'll resume my journey once the carriage is repaired. Assuming my guards are quite refreshed, I believe we can make it on our own. Please return to Camp Dragonhead and warm yourselves. It's no coincidence that the giant birds and the two guards took leave of their senses around the same time. This is the work of the cradle. But even if Lafrina was here, she is no longer. Let's return to the city and consider our next move, the next steps. We're going all the way back to Foundation. I'm thinking I might do range next, because I'm trying to figure out what melee class I want to play as still. So melee is going to be last, because as you can see, I haven't even really played Monk or Dragoon yet, and I kind of want to see what all the melee classes are like. Well, I know how Monk plays because I did that with Edgar, so I'll probably end up playing as Monk. We have received reports of the incident near Camp Dragonhead. Two of our own speaking on duty by the Fury. Had you reached them even a moment later, this day would have been much darker. Although it pains me to say it, those two shall be punished as fits the magnitude of their negligence. But if I may, I don't believe the blame rests entirely on their shoulders. The cradle of the sleepless was used against them, uncertain. Yes, you said you possessed the power to lull others into a deep sleep. I admit it, you would explain. Regardless, these are the rules. They were still bested by the enemy, and their charge was almost clear. This punishment is our only recourse. I see a harsh distance stance, maybe, but I can respect that you don't treat your duty lightly. But if you learn anything else, lay off on spots. Please let us know at once. Even though we didn't find her, I'm glad we were able to save those soldiers. Thank you for coming to us. Nay, just simple nights with all you thanks. We shall continue our search and rest assured we shall be the first to know of any developments. And there's more I would tell you about the cradle. Things I should have told you sooner. Join me over there and I'll do my best to fix that. I might still do range last, but it'll just be a big gap between Final Fantasy videos. But then again, I might get Monk done before the next before even this episode comes out. That's how much I have a backlog right now. It's not even my choice. Internet sucks. Now you've seen with your own eyes what I've only been able to describe. The Narwhal's lullaby can put even hardened warriors into a restful slumber. They may as well be defenseless as newborn babes. But even with such power, my people have never used it to attack our enemies. Its sole purpose has always been to keep a single person awake, an eternal guardian who would never sleep, never rest, the wide-eyed me. For 10 years I've been awake, training day and night to gain the strength I have now, the strength to shield my people. Of course, another must receive the weariness I cast aside the Shaddai. You met her, in fact, Leone Ziwa. I've been awake these 10 years. She spent the better part of her days in a deep slumber. Her brief periods of wakefulness are spent exercising and eating as her body doesn't waste away. And we barely spoken, despite how much I depend on her. When we were young, we spent our days exploring the mountain paths, but that time is long past. Telling you all this now, I realize how very little of my life has been dedicated to my own pursuits. Azue and I have devoted ourselves entirely to the protection of our village. Well, about that. No, I have no excuse. It was my fault it was stolen, and I bear that burden. A protector must take responsibility for his charge. But we don't have the luxury to dwell on regrets. I see now that although my people never used the cradle for ill, wicked hearts can twist anything towards evil. And that's something I can't tolerate. The very thought that this might happen again makes the bile churn in my gullets. We must bring the officer's schemes to an end. Oh, just the person I wanted to see. I'd like to ask you your advice on a certain matter, if you don't mind. It's been a while since my last letter to Luansui. I wanted to wait until I discovered something worthy sharing to Rachel, but we've still completely in the dark. I don't want her to worry, but I don't know what to tell her. Good advice as usual. I wish we had even a single thread to grasp. But unexciting letter is better than none at all. Alright, I'll start right away. I may not have much time left. Oh, don't misunderstand. It's nothing so grave as that. It's just the last time I used the cradle was just before it was stolen. Luckily, I'm still as alert as I've ever been. But it won't be long until I must dream like any other. That will give the free rein while I'm helplessly in bed. There is no quarry more dangerous than one who doesn't sleep. We have to see this through before that happens. Magic Master Dawntrail. We have discovered reports that several groups of the knights have fallen the fall of what can only be but your stolen artifact. Several, let me guess, they were all guarding something, someone else. You would be correct. It is the duty of the knights to protect those who cannot protect themselves. If we fail even the most basic function, then our honor means nothing. As if the incident near Camp Dragonhead was not shameful enough, the knights in those most recent attacks were left in quite compromising positions. Yet the weight of embarrassment is a trifle compared to the guilt we would bear if any innocent came to harm. The fairy was merciful in that respect, but we would rather not see these incidents repeat. Still, while the Temple Knight must work to repair the reputation in the days ahead, it's a far cry from bringing Ishgard crumbling to its knees. Truth be told, the method of the passage of the Unbound left me mystified. But Leofoni was cunning, if nothing else. Till we can discern her true motivation, we have little recourse but to wait until she makes a mistake. Then you suggest she has a greater purpose in mind for it, and these incidents are simply a prelude. We cannot discount that theory. I admit we shall remain vigilant. And there's no telling how much chaos she can sow if left unchecked. We have to do everything we can to get the cradle off our clutches. After that, we have to start asking the right questions. This new information makes me wonder. Why has she found her attention on the focus our attention on the Temple Knights? I have pondered the same. Posted at Camp Dragonhead are knights from many houses of repute, including House Voltamps. Being a former House Voltamps herself, being a former Temple Knight herself, Leofon doubtlessly knows their habits and training. Perhaps that makes it easier for her to exploit their weaknesses. And if we follow the knights, we may pick up our trail. It's not ideal, but it's the best we have to go on. Large contingent of knights has recently been dispatched to Carthus. You remember, Gordring Mills, yes? It has lain abandoned ever since the heretics were driven from it. Yet there is even the risk that unsavory elements might infest it once again. Thus have the Temple Knights planned joint patrols of its premises with other contingents. If you speak with Sir Redwald at Falcon's Nest, I am certain he would be glad to have you along. I don't remember what I gave Redwald's voice before. It's been a year or two. I don't remember. I'm in no hurry. Oh, I did find some more quests in the last song I hit. And I didn't record them because never did side quests and they weren't really that long. Also, I didn't feel like exiting out of the game, so we'll be escaping forward. Is that Master Magic, I say? Of course, you are ever welcome in Falcon's Nest, yet I believe I do not know your companion here. Indeed, whispers of the Temple of Night's humiliation has reached us even here, fallen asleep on duty. I dare not believe the stories, but it seems there was truth in them after all. Oh, they fell asleep, true, but it wasn't their fault. We suspect they fell victim to an enemy wielding a powerful artifact. Now, the rumors failed to mention anything like that. If we can lure even trained warriors to sleep, then we must treat it as serious threats. Nevertheless, if one night falls, another is always at the ready to take their place. So long as this artifact cannot put an entire regiment under its spell, I believe we are well positioned to combat it. Interesting, the idea of your allies falling in battle doesn't seem to disturb you at all. Where I hail from, a single warrior is responsible for the safety of his entire village. Make no mistake, we do not doubt our allies' mettle, and we mourn every loss. Yet each man and woman here knows that if they must quit the battle, another sword, just as fierce, will take their place. I think that an ally is at your back, able to allow you to fight with abandon. Oh, you believe this author might take interest in our activities? That's good going to mills, yes? The party has already left, accompanied by a group of temple knights. If your suspicions are correct, then they are at risk. I would ask that you follow in their tracks and ensure they have not fallen victim to foul play. The mills can be found in the north, just across the Black Iron Bridge. The party should be arriving there soon, conditions permitting. I have to head there and reach them before Leofan does. Foot. So yeah, since the internet's been so bad as the past month or so around here, that my uploads have been very erratic. Sometimes I don't even get to even start an upload on a day because I have to let my computer power down and rest for a bit. But surely they're fast asleep. But Redwold gave the impression they were more. These knights must have been the lookouts. We should awake them, but keep your eyes peeled for Leofan. I'll rouse these ones, Edmund. You search the building yonder. Who the hell are you? How do you get past the guards? Hello! It's you think the Fury arrived when you did. Stug struck when our backs were turned. I assumed the Temple Knights were protecting the entrance, so I wasn't as cautious as I should have been. Were they killed? Sleeping? I've heard the stories, of course, but I didn't think they were true. Whoever's behind this, I'm sure they didn't count on you showing up. For now, we shall tend to our wounds and then finish our inspection here, Master Magic. I ask that you join the knights outside and wait until we're finished. As I thought, just when I was becoming bored, I sighted a friendly face among the slumbering knights. I simply had to come and make sure it was you. Oh, you finally found the courage to show yourself. Hand over the cradle now, and I won't kill you. What did they call you again? The wide-eyed? You must have quite the journey to come this far. Be careful, Cinnamon. This is our quarry. The thief who stole the cradle, the sleepless. This is Leophon. That is your ally. Where their nimble hands, they may seek your artifact for themselves. And that is not, I suppose, before you both throw your lives away. It's just to think of for a moment, and that cause you fight for worth the sacrifice. So few of us know true freedom. If there is aught you would grasp with your own hands, do so before they wither and your eyes shut for the last time. The codes and rules that would bind men are mere illusions. Open your eyes and truly open them, and you shall see a path all your own. Only a fool would waste their life in the struggle of another. Oh, quit spouting nonsense. Nonsense? Perhaps I am here because of another. After all, Apai, who came to me at the height of my debauchery and welcomed me into her devious brotherhood. She guided me to great power, yes, and now I laid others upon the unbound path. Yet, truth be told, I have little interest in seeing where it ends. To tear down the world's nations, Ishgard among them, and usher the world into, well, what does it matter? Yet, I do derive great pleasure in shaming the Temple Knights, in seeing the snickers and jeers deflate their pompous stride as they walk down the streets. If this artifact can hasten their fall from grace, I believe I shall keep it. I know the path I walk, the one that leads to your downfall. Now I want to back it. I'll take the cradle. And then I'll fall asleep. Oh. How dare you seem to have lost your train of thought? I know you cannot hear me, but if you want your artifact bit, I might suggest stealing it from me while I'm asleep. But considering the burden I just passed to you, that option must not come for some time yet. Why, I feel absolutely transcendent to think the shackles of fatigue weighed so heavily. Alas, it appears the artifact needs its own repose of sorts. No matter, I have learned more than enough to take my next. See to it that this lot is disposed of. 'Tis the least you can do for the freedom I've given you. Yeah, I'm thinking I'll get Viper up to level 100 and do the melee one next, and then I'll work on Monk in my free time. Tries Nitro's Temple, he's completely detached from the waking world. It looks like you saved us twice today, thank you. But what of him? Asleep just as we were. Could this be of what Sir Filmbert warned us of in his report? I see. Then those stories are more than just wicked rumors. I suppose there is some small comfort in the fact that our enemy tipped their hand without causing loss of life. With the drowsiness make my eyes heavy, my ears could not mistake Leofon's arrogant voice. If she would not scruple to attack former comrades in arms, then she has fallen further than I had dared imagine. Yet we bear the blame for allowing her to get the upper hand, and so doing put innocent lives in danger, another black mark on our order. 'Twas only thanks to you and your companions' efforts that the snow was not stained red this day. At the very least, allow us to carry him to the congregation. Well, not stained red with your blood. At least. Our work here is done, and we shall accompany them as far as Falcon's Nest, said Edmund. Prepare to return to Ishgard and look after your friend. I leave none alive! Stay dead, motherfucker! Don't make me pull out my gun next. That is something I do know how to use. But yeah, as you can see, my inventory kind of got consumed by items. That's not where I wanted to go. Now I forgot where I wanted to go. Leophone. The master now rests on the second floor. We shall stand vigil by his side every moment until he opens his eyes again. We should not have long to wait, but if you wish to check on him, please do so at your leisure. There is another matter to discuss just before you depart to the mills. Seems there was another incident. A group of criminals were released from their cells, their guards found in a deep sleep. Doubtless Leophone was behind this, and doubtless the ruffians who clashed with were the self-same criminals. Leophone is gathering those who bear a grudge against the Temple Knights to her side and using this animosity to her advantage. We now know for certain that Leophone is the mastermind of these attacks, and that her aim is to chip away at the very foundation of the Temple Knights, our honor. When I shared these revelations with my severest, it was decided that none would speak publicly of the artifact and its powers. The passage of the Unbound seeks to overthrow the nations of the world. One obvious method is to achieve the goal, but to stroke the flames of unrest among the common folk, thus sinking Ishgard into a mire of chaos and distress, not unlike the blasphemies of the final days. So long as these failures are placed squarely on the soldiers of the Temple Knights, we can avoid all nations a more abiding mistrust in the nation's very core. For Ishgard's peace, I would gladly suffer any disgrace. The question remains as to whether we can apprehend Leophone before she tears our reputation to tatters. While Master Tanoir slumbers, it falls to us to search for clues that might point towards her whereabouts. Leophone remains as elusive as ever. If she is in league with Ishgard's more unsavory elements, she could be hidden anywhere. We have only her cryptic statement to guide us. It seems that whatever her plan is, her actions thus far have been but a prelude to its climax. We can but hope that Tanoir awakens before she emerges again. How's him? And there you are. Oh, wrong character. I'm so glad I found you. I was starting to think I was in the wrong city, but the narwhal guided me true. Oh, you must be the maiden Toram mentioned. You hail from the same village, yes? I am from Bert of the Temple Knights. It's an honor to meet you. Wrote about you in his letter. I'm Losuki, and the honor is all mine. Is Tanoir with you? I haven't received a letter from him for some time, so I came to check on him myself. He taking a nap. Insufferable fool, what have I told you about rushing ahead without thinking? Now you even have the gall to be sleeping when I arrive? You promised you write to me, and what I was supposed to do with when the letter stopped coming. I was so worried. At least I could take some small comfort that he appears otherwise unharmed. I take it you're to thank for that, Zedman. Yes, that's right. For 10 years I bore his fatigue, and as a result my body is more fragile than most. But since arriving in Toriol, my life has become normal. As I walked the city streets and eaten my fill of its food, I felt my strength grow. I could even stay awake for a full day now. You know why I don't sleep so soundly. Reports of other incidents indicate that those afflicted awake in a matter of moments, yet Tintois shows no signs of stirring. Oh, that I'm sorry, I can't say for certain. But I do know the stories of those who came before me. More than one shut-eye has fallen into a sleep much like this, one so absolute that they become deaf to the outside world. With no means to sustain their body, they would waste away if left alone. So our people found a mixture of herb and other materials that help usher those shut-eye back to the waking world. What could possibly be strong enough to bring someone back from this? We call it spring dew, and the secrets of its making are passed down through generations. Each drop acts as a ray of sunshine in the darkness of sleep, a beacon for the dreamer to follow. I carry some of the ingredients on my person, but others must be gathered fresh. It won't be an easy task, but I'm certain it will save Tintois. I don't know their Eorzean names, but one is the flower blooms a striking yellow and grows only where mountain peaks soar above the clouds. Being so close to the heavens, it drinks in the sunlight, and its petals cleanse the body and promotes wakefulness. And the journeying mists bloom a yellow flower called the dandelion. It's no other place in Eorzea can one be closer to touch the sun. Good, next we'll need the saliva of beasts who we call morbles, and the thicker it is, the better. The pungent odor could wake the dead. I know them. Morbles are not an uncommon sight in the Stravonian hinterlands. A mature specimen would possess saliva with the desired effect. The prospect of gathering it, however, is an unenviable test. Once we have the two ingredients, mixing them the rest should be a simple matter. Do you think you could cure them, Zedman? All your confidence is reassuring. Since the morble saliva must be the fresher of the two, I ask that you first climb into the heavens and pick dandelions for Tintois. You gotta remember, I'm the idiot who picked up a morble seed without taking an antidote first. I still made the delivery too. Don't ask me how I survived, because I don't know. I've been told that I'm going to have to wait quite a bit for the beast quests. So I'm going to be... Oh, so much grinding. The sun-drenched dandelion shining almost golden yellow. Now for a much gruesome task. Venture into the Dravonian hinterlands and collect saliva from the mouth of a fully grown mortal. Back to Idleshire! Too bad I can't live in Idleshire. They don't got an inn. Or any housing you can buy. Closest I can get to here, living here is Ishgard, so... back to Ishtar. Goodbye, self-esteem. I'm ready to start mixing the ingredients at once. That is, of course, assuming you've brought them with you. Found blooming among the floating isles above Eorzea, the petals of this dandelion grow almost as brilliant as the sun, which nourishes them. So pungent that not a sealed vial can contain its scent completely. A single waft of this saliva could retch even the deepest slumbering sleeper back into the waking world. These are difficult to acquire at the best of times, so I thank you for gathering them so quickly. I shall get started immediately. Well done, all we can. Now wait for Azor to Gentlewa to open his eyes. Oh, what am I? I hope you enjoyed sleeping the days away, Tintois. And I'm glad you're finally awake. Lazarus, what are you doing here? I see, so Lafine wielded the cradle against me. And while I was tuckered soundly in bed, Lazarus came all this way. Curse my weakness. Just when I had her, just when I was needed the most, I failed. For 10 years I endured countless trials. When the time came, I couldn't even swing my damned weapon. It's not your fault, Tanoa. If anyone's to blame for what's happened, it's me. No, I won't hear it. As you may know, Leofon won our trust by posing as a scholar traveling the breadth of Torel. She expressed great interest in the cradle and our customs, and I was so excited to meet an outsider that I answered her every question. I told her that the wide-eyed keeps the cradle with them at all times, and then she hatched her plan. She took me hostage to draw out Tintois. Well, Lisa was sleeping. Leofon snuck into her chamber and held a blade to her throat. I had no choice but to give her what she wanted, the cradle of the sleepless. I put Liz's life before the future of our people. It was at that moment I became unfit to be their guardian. Thank you, Simon. You know just what to say. That was the only way to see a future where none of my people came to harm, especially Leonzia. Without the cradle, you still are guardian, my guardian. We find a way through this together. Together! And seeing you in such high spirits left to my own. Oh, and before I forget, you tried to lift the logs while I was dreaming in the snow, didn't you? I owe you a debt I won't soon forget. And I wager that debt will grow larger before we pry the treasure from Leofold's clutches. But whatever it takes, I won't stop until she's answered for her crimes. You know, while I was sleeping, I dreamed. I saw Louis and I as children. Nothing particularly interesting happened. We just whittled the days away without a care in the world. I had forgotten what it was like to dream. It was pleasant. I can remember wanting to stay there and never open my eyes again. But of course, the moment I gave form to that thought, I opened them, and Louis was there. Even if we get the cradle back, will things return to the way they were, or do you go back to spending your life in dreams? I suppose so. It's my duty as the Jedi, after all. Your duty! And it was your duty, too, that compelled you to come all the way to here to Ishgard. But no more. What are you saying? I tried so hard to convince myself that you were glad spending so much time asleep, but being on the other side made me realize I was lying to myself all along. I don't want to return to a life where you and I are bound together, but always so far apart. I want to go back to those happy days when we were by each other's sides. I guess what I'm saying is, if there's a different path for us, I want to find it, and I want to walk it with you. But not yet. First, we reclaim the cradle. When we have, we'll take our first step towards that new future. Promise. I must confess, I haven't felt the same since I woke up. I know I was in that bed for a while, but instead of feeling refreshed, my body feels weaker somehow. It's almost as if my very strength was sapped when the treasure was turned on me. I can't even grip my weapon properly. Then does that mean the cradle has the power we don't know about? Not exactly. It may just mean the cradle works differently than we thought. Its wielder might not pass on their fatigue, rather they absorb another's vigor. The end effect would be the same. The cradle wielder can go on without sleeping, and its victim loses the strength to even keep their eyes open. You never took more than you needed, so my slumber were always light enough to waken from. But if the treasure was used without restraint, if we've had this realization, it would be long until Leofold does too, and then it will be too late. We have to root her out. But I mustn't rush ahead blindly, as it never tires of telling me. I feel nearly weak as a child right now. But I must spend that precious time we have training to regain what strength Leofold saved from me. You have my word I won't rest until I'm in topic form again. I suggest you do the same, if for no other reason than to give me some stiff competition. Ah, we get pizza. Oh, no, pazza. We get some pazza. Oh, you're looking strong, Zedman. Well, I'm not my old self again. I'm feeling better by the day. Still, there's much work to be done. I need to be even better than I was before, if we're to have any hope of catching Leophone. I wonder what she's plotting with the rest of her cohorts. We know they're aimed to topple nations around the world, but this is an odd way to go about it, don't you think? Why haven't her misdeeds in Ishgard extended any further than the Temple Knights? We pondered the same question. Our best guess was that our farmer knight herself, she chose them because she knew how to exploit their weakness. She's using her knowledge as her weapon, and when in need to equip ourselves likewise. If we can learn more about her, we might be able to anticipate her next move. I got a plan, but I admit I have no idea where to start. Should we ask Frembert? I already have. He said that while he never knew her personally, the Knights and her all squadron might be able to shed light onto her past. Some of them even now patrol the city, and Frembert has a great help in telling me where they might be. Oh, you've been busy, Leo and Sui. I can't remember the last time I was awake this long. I didn't want to sit around until I got tired again. And we're all better for it since you've gathered information. It's only fitting I should do the legwork. Just tell me where the knights are and I'll speak with them. Gladly, when Ishgard is still an influence for both of us, right? Although if Albert told me where to go, the names of those places mean nothing to me. Luckily, we have 7 to guide you. You'll go with Chalk, won't you? One second. Pandora's opened up my blinds. And now I am completely tangled in wires. Here we go. I know we could count on you. All right, take notes of these locations. Being forced to work with someone like Leophon isn't a fate I would envy. I'm curious to hear what these knights have to say about her. Hopefully they provide insight that helps guide us forward. Time is of the essence, gentlemen. Well, let's get going. Let's get moving. Yeah, he's with us. Oh, there's only one place for he's speaking. Speaky spat. Speaky the That must be on the second floor. Now, if this is a rare privilege, what business could the savior of Ishgard have with the humble knight? Want to know about Leophon? Well, many temple knights came from common stock, but she was different. Despite what she became, Leophon was born of noble blood. Even so, she often made mock of Ishgard's customs and responsibilities that bound the conduct of noble families. Doubtless she yearned for freedom all her life, or her idea of it anyway. Although her deeds caused her to be expelled from the Temple Knights and summarily stripped of her title, she may have actually desired that outcome. If she hated so much here, all she had to do was leave. I hear she did leave, for a time at least. Now she's in league with a group that aims to plunge the world into chaos. If a selfish heart like Leophon was sought out to aid this plot, I shudder to imagine how wicked their leader must be. require aid, I must keep watch, so forgive me if I don't engage in idle chit-chat. Well, fun for her, I can spare a moment. I don't suppose you know why she was expelled from the Temple Knights, do you? While few were her equal in swordplay and fewer still handled their mounts with such grace, she often spends her nights coursing in the gambling halls. It was after such a night she fell asleep while on duty. Some may call it a cruel twist of fate, but dragons attacked her charges as she slept, and they were left defenseless. In her night she was deemed to have aided our ancestral foe, and thus was stripped of her knighthood and noble title both. Knights falling asleep on duty, a story that became all too familiar. Given what happened, I've no doubt she came to fear sleep, yet now she has conquered that weakness, she wields it as a weapon against us. She may even believe herself to be beyond the reach of mortal danger, yet she's only deluding herself, and in time she'll be made to answer for her deeds. I've heard that the people of Ishgard revere a warrior god, but here is a statue of flesh and blood knight. I've never seen such a thing. My people make no figures of or depictions of our departed, fearing that such objects would keep them from finding their way to the next world. The only idol we keep is the cradle of the sleepless. And thanks to its blessing, a white eye has always watched over us. So our reverence is devoted sorely to the narwhal. It's enough that it guides our people safely to the next sunrise. All's quiet, even so, I must remain vigilant. How funny, eh? A name spoken of in hushed whispers now, but many have forgotten her strategic genius. She had a singular talent for achieving victory in battle by whatever means necessary. A genius, maybe we're too dense to see how her actions would cause Ishgard to collapse. Given that her group seems relevantly few in numbers, an assault on Ishgard is unlikely. Rather, I think her aim is to chip away at the people's trust in Ishgard's foundation, and by the absence of a few vital bricks, bring the whole nation tumbling down. The thoughts gives me worry. Even now, representatives from Ishgard are preparing to visit Oksundo in the Sea of Clouds. If anything were to go wrong, it would be a grievous blow to Ishgard's reputation. As we saw at Falcon's Nest, certain elements that oppose our nation see friendly gestures as a chance to spark conflict. Given recent developments, Sir Hondalup has been debating whether the visit is a wise choice. Well, we have a general understanding of what drives our adversary. Stories that paint a picture of the rotten, conniving souls. Lord Commander, I take it that's the leader of these Temple Knights. One of the fancy tales a little interest to me. I'd sympathize with anyone who had to give orders to a rotten apple like Leophon. Given the Temple Knights are a warning, is the least we can do. It's clear this delegation might prove an enticing target for Leophon. But we have knowledge to use against our enemy. If we all work together, we might be able to trap her. We haven't much time. Let us return to the convent and tell this handle of what we know. You have a welcome at the Kushkin, Zenman. I am well apprised of Leoform's wicked deeds, and your efforts to flush her out has been much appreciated. And this must be Master Tatuar, who crossed the ocean from Torel. I hope you have recovered from your ordeal. I'm better than ever. Apologies for taking up one of your beds for so long. Please, no apologies are necessary. On the contrary, the Temple Knights yet owe you a debt for all you have done. What brings us to the purpose of this visit? You had something to discuss with me? I see you had the same, and I see you and I had the same doubts. Delegations to Okozudu would be an obvious target for Leoform. I was but recently debating the wisdom of moving forward with our plans. As you know, all of Ishgard falls under the protection of the Temple Knights. As such, this only means with we maintain and strengthen friendly relations with our neighbors. The delegation in question is tasked with deepening mutual understanding of each of our unique cultures. Sonu Vanu, chief of the Zundu, was most eager to host. Yet so long as the specter of Leoform hangs over our order, I fear visits abroad are unwise. Should any of the Vanu come to harm, our relations would be damaged irreparably. As we have no way of knowing if Leoform has caught one of our plans, I am of mind that postponing the delegates may be the best. May be the most prudent course of action for the safety of all. That's right, Simon and I won't let anyone come to harm. And as long as you warn the Vanu in advance, they shouldn't hold the actions of a rogue against you. If they're truly your allies, and they see the wisdom in your judgment, please send the delegate as planned. It'll be our best chance to capture Leoform. Yes, your words have merit. Thank you for the sage counsel. Yeah, you are right. This Zudu would not stand idly by while we suffer at Leoform's hands. In fact, the fellowship between our two peoples were forged when a god assailed their home and was brought low by a great hero, Zedman. If we tell the Zudu that he is keeping watch over the proceedings, and I am certain all doubt shall be quelled, and then you'll proceed. Indeed, the time has come for we Temple Knights to reclaim our honor and go on the counter-offensive. I shall bring their suggestion of a joint operation against Leoform to the Lord Commander as soon as possible. Oh, thank you. Together, we'll put a stop to her schemes. I first must discuss matters with the others involved before we present a plan to the Lord Commander. Although time is of the essence, I ask that you wait a while until our course is settled. My shoulder's still killing me. Now I agree to defend that people I know next to nothing about. Tell me how the Zondo I will soon be visiting. Really, two groups of the same people so far apart. The world really is full of surprises. Even a single city is enough for a lifetime. Every day I hear something that gives me food for thought. Like the story of the Dragon Song War, for instance, generations of animosity between dragon and man somehow ended in a rekindled fellowship. I imagine a whole world like that. A world where there's be no need for protectors. A wide eye watches not only the monsters in the wilderness, but our neighbors as well. We've barely even considered sending delegations outside our village's gates. And the cold snap only made things worse. With everyone struggling just to survive, our every thought goes towards defending our scarce resources. But if we only look outwards with wariness, there's no hope for the future to change. No hope to build trust. If only there was a way to bridge the distance between us and reach tomorrow with hand in hand. But maybe that's just a silly dream. Either way, it's a good effect. I'm glad you think so. I'll hold the future in mind as I get back to training. As for you, Edmund, get some rest. If you fall asleep while I need you most, I'll wake you up with a knock to the head. Fish must take Oh, now we get some materia. Hardlope still hasn't sent a word. I guess the others might not be so enthusiastic about the plan. To them, the cradle sleep. This is naturally still something to be feared. No matter how much faith they have in your strength, you would be at Leofold's mercy if she puts you to sleep. Honestly, I don't blame him. Not even I imagined our treasure could be used for such evil. In Leofold's hands, it's no more than an indiscriminate weapon. But that means when we get it back, we can turn it into something else. Someone no one's ever thought of before. We can find a way to use it without forcing someone to spend their life in slumber. Of course, I agree with you, Tuna, but we have more pressing matters, namely a rogue knight to capture and a treasure to recover. Right. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. Apologies for keeping you waiting so long. The Temple Knights have finally reached a decision concerning the delegation to the Sea of Clouds. And what have you decided? I am pleased to say that the Sundu have agreed to join forces with us. Together we shall drive back Leopold should she attack. If a shadow darkens even an elm of their homeland, our peaceful delegation shall turn into a fighting force at a moment's notice. We shall restore the Temple Knight's reputation and recover your artifact in one fell swoop. Thank you. And look, we promise to do our part if Leopold shows herself. She won't get away this time. We have but to hammer the finer details. Once we have ready to depart, the first group of knights shall leave by airship. I would ask you both to make your way to Zondu as soon as possible, so you may help plan our strategy. I'm coming too. I can heal your wounds, and if it comes to it, my staff can bruise as well as a club. I'll gladly have you with us. I'm done taking on the world alone. I need you, Luxui, and Zedman too. We're stronger together than we could ever be apart. The cradle never would have been stolen if I realized that from the beginning. And I want you by my side to ensure I never forget it. Well then, we'd better be off. I'm keen to meet this Chief Sonovanu. already look at the PvP achievements. So I can see what's the next title for it. This place looks different. At least the floor does. And they did do some lighting adjustments. Of course, it's going to look different. Honored Netherling, you return to Okuzudo. As welcome as the revival of spring, Zondo knows why you've come. Wicked hearts seek to bring chaos to our home. And so the Zondo shall rise to its defense if needed. As the sun's rays chase away the shadow of night, the sun-drop dance shall keep the tendrils of sleep at bay. Chief Zondo Vondo, it's an honor to meet you. I'm Chichongo, and if this sun-drop dance is as invigorating as you say, I'd love to see it for myself. The Zondo shall dance before Ishgard warriors upon their arrival. Brave Tonut is welcome to join the proceedings. That was your original intent, right? I see. If we're to draw Leophones out, it makes sense to pretend like nothing is amiss. Do the warriors unify their strength through the sun-drop dance, and the sight of so fearsome that many choose to flee rather than fight? Netherling warriors may learn much from such an approach. Breaking the enemy's spirits avoids needless bloodshed. Yet, all dancers must hone their skill before wild animals first, that the sun-drop dance does not fail them at the most crucial moment. It is for that reason our dancers await at the outskirts of Okuzundo for the Netherlings' arrival. When the performance begins, it shall draw the attention of all like a roiling cloud coming over the horizon. Watch carefully for any who would take advantage of that moment. After the dance is finished and everything, we present the Zondo with Chief Zondo. Netherling ship appears in the skies like sudden sun shower, hurtling toward Earth. Swiftly it descends, crashing down near Zondo dancers. Ship's markings are Ishgardian. Zondo are unhurt, but wounded Netherlings pour from vessel. The Sublights were coming by airship, right? All Neophon had to do was lull the pilot to sleep. She saw right through us, and now we're on the back foot. Great winds can alter even a raging river's course. What matters is to stand strong and move forward, and now we must offer aid to the Netherlings who came as guests. Alright, let's go. I don't think they have Leviathan weapons, but maybe they do. I can't remember what that sword's from. Either from that staff. If this is the work of the cradle, Neophon can't be far. We must tend to the wounded, but I won't let her escape again. This ends today, one way or the other. Oh, you brought a griffin. There you are, Leophon. You came all this way to greet me. Oh, am I honored. I only hope my gift was satisfactory. It's a shame you will not see Ishgard crumble. Alas, I can scarcely suffer rats to scurry about my feet, threatening to gnaw away at my carefully laid plans. At least you bear witness to the dying breast of the Temple Knight's flagging honor. We would sooner see the wrecked airship soar again than their reputation return to its former glory. Yet even I did not foresee that the Sundu would be in the ship's path. The Fury favors me, for who would trust a nation so careless as to put their neighbors at risk? Everyone knows you're behind this. People won't turn on each other so easily. Oh, I didn't see you there, the shut-eye wide awake. Doubly honored, I am, that you came all this way just to meet your ends. Enough, you've taken the cradle back, and we won't let your evil continue any longer. Such bold words, if I recall correctly, your people reaped great benefits from this artifact's power, all at the cost of someone's waking life, your life. Pray do not misunderstand me. That was not meant to be denouncement of your people. On the contrary, they have my utmost respect. We are bound by our very nature. No matter how mighty we become, we are slaves to the whims of sleep. Yet this artifact can cinder those shackles and grant true freedom. It makes its wielder stronger and their enemies weak. A perfect weapon, if you ask me. I can't say whether using the cradle is right or wrong. I only know that a life lived at the cost of another is no life at all. You're right about one thing. We are bound by our nature. But that doesn't shackle us. It brings us together. And whether I'm asleep or awake, as long as Allah's by my side, that's the life I want. Please exhaust the cradle's power and the temple knights. This is our chance. No plans without its wrinkles, I suppose. Fortunately, I prepare for all contingencies. You had an opportunity to live a quiet life, but I will not give it again. This time I'll send you into a slumber from which you will never awake. Insomnia, activate! Oh, I thought that affected everybody. Now you shut your eyes for the final time. Let the rest of the waking world. Hopefully this isn't my map damage. stubborn. You may have won today, but this is not over. Griffin falls asleep instead. Oh, yes, it is. Insomnia! Damn fool. No! No. No. Bubbles in the background. Oh, say goodnight, real home. She's dead. The wide-eyed watch is eternal, and eternal is the sleep it bestows. What's the range on it? We finally stopped here. Yes, but we have someone else to worry about. Zenman, wake up. Are you alright? Oh, yay. Only he would smile at a time like this. He's awake. Oh, wrong one. You were on top too. Oh, so that's what the sword looks like. Your work is done, Zedman. You did a commendable job as our shield. And now you can lay down your burden. It was thanks to your bravery that I was able to deal the finishing blow to Leopold. And with the cradle back in our possession, I think we can consider this expedition across the sea to be a success. Undo helped us gather the wounded and set them safely off to Ishka. We can't have done it without you. Netherlings protect allies as fiercely as Gale Cat protecting kittens. Zundu moved by your might. You were equally as impressive. I should learn the Sundrop dance myself. Oh, I wouldn't strike you myself half as fierce as yourselves. Zundu seem to have everything well in hand, and Henderup is likely eager to see us. We should return to Hitchguard as soon as we can. I won't be surprised if we have to fight all 6 or 7 of them for the final one. Yeah, I am still planning on doing Alien for last. hopefully it's gonna take me another week just to get some of these other ones done. Ah, the heroes of the day have returned. Thanks to your valor, the threat Leophon posed is no more. What more? Not a single life was lost. On behalf of the Temple Knights, allow me to express my utmost gratitude to you all. Oh, you don't owe me any thanks. After all, it's much my fault that the cradle was stolen in the first place, and ultimately my fault that your delegation to Okota turned into a melee. It may be true that our visit to the Sea of Clouds was far from peaceful, but the bond between the Zondu and the Temple Knights has only deepened through overcoming mutual adversity. Blessings often take inscrutable forms. And while we know not whether Leophon yet lives, we do know that she can no longer reach the source of her ill-gotten power, so we have little more to fear from her. With the crisis behind us, the common folk no longer have aught to fear. We will have know the story of Leophon's schemes and the heroes who worked to foil them, and in time I hope that trust in our order will be restored. The Temple Knights shall continue to build relations with our neighbors for the years to come, relations which shall form the foundation for Ishgard's future. We would be honored if we could count you among our allies in this endeavor. Anything you need, simply call upon us. We'll be there, no questions asked. Now with that, it's time we return home. It's been an honor. We'll be passing through Tariol, Tuliolol, on our way back to Zenman. If you have business in these parts, we'd love to speak with you and sip for tea before setting off. See you soon, hopefully. Oh, we should probably just use the Aetherite to get to the... Yeah, that was probably fast. This we have if they have us, you know, spawn in. That koala's not doing okay over there. Yep. Oh, there it goes. So there you are. I was afraid we wouldn't see you before we left. We arrived not long ago and apprised Barkavu of everything that happened. This is the longest I've spent away from our village, but even though Toriol and Ishgard were like entirely different worlds to me, I was only ever treated with kindness. Is there anything the matter, Tatois? Nothing, it's just something I've been thinking about. Our people have always been self-sufficient, but these guardians in this zone show that looking to your neighbors can reveal a way through the harshest difficulties. And you heard, Hunsworth, the bond between Ishgard and Ulfwood was only made deeper through their shared ordeal. To trust another to such a degree, but I think it's a goal we should all strive towards. We have at least one friend like that, don't we? He was bent his eyes to every note of the. He who bent his eyes to every note of the narwhal's lullaby without a shade of fear in his eyes. Thank you, Edmund. We're believing in us. We're believing that no matter the outcome, your actions will not be in vain. And so doing, you taught me the worth of fighting alongside allies you can trust. You're right, it's our faith in our allies, and their faith in us, that gives us the courage to protect each other. But approaching someone with open arms doesn't mean they'll accept you. The relations between our people and our neighbors have been strained by generations of mistrust, and we must take care to mend them properly. If we can do that and learn to look towards the future, hand in hand, then there will be no need to use the cradle lever again. People can sleep and dream untroubled, and awake with bright eyes. I want to see those days come to pass. Me too, but then you and I can finally spend more time together. Alright, of course. If we're going to see this future, then we should get back to our village. We'll be overjoyed to see the cradle returned. Thank you for everything, Zenman. Next time we meet, may we both have good news to share. That won't be for like another 2 or 3 weeks. So buckle up. No sleep until Tori. Yep. No thingy. No title. Yeah, I think I'll call it there. I'll see you all in the next.